It is a soggy day here at Barber Motorsports Park where I'm here to check out the brand new 2025 Grom SP, the new package of the Grom, which is sportier with a cool little chin fairing and a really brilliant black and satin subdued colorway. Let's check it out. This 4th gen Grom is still the same 225 pound, 125cc air-cooled 2-valve motor paired with a 5-speed transmission. 31mm inverted forks with about 4 inches of travel front and rear and disc brakes. 1.6 gallons of fuel and a claimed 166.5 miles per gallon. For 2025, there are 3 versions: the Grom, the new Grom SP, with the rocking lower fairing, which can be purchased on its own or added to other models, and the Grom ABS. Honda also announced 3 add-on packages: the Hyper, Adventure, and Scads, to help you customize your Grom to your taste. And that's always been a core aspect of the Grom, making it your own. The Grom is Honda's best-selling motorcycle, according to Honda, by a significant margin. They are wildly popular, and if you have any doubts about this, go log into your local classifieds and see what used Groms are selling for. Now, one thing I've always loved about the Grom is that it's a little bit of a gateway drug into the motorcycle world. But what makes it really special, aside from it being an actual motorcycle with an actual transmission, is that it's a solid little platform. And to prove this point, Honda track prepped a handful of Groms for us with Olean suspension and a stack of upgrades, and we competed in a 3-hour endurance race on the Grom. Sorry to interrupt, but I kind of want to set the stage here. A persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud despite external evidence of competence. Yeah, I was dealing with a little bit of that. I mean, just to name a few: Cycle World, Motorcycle.com, Revzilla, Ultimate Motorcycling, Motorcyclist Magazine, and me. The other thing is we get to enjoy a Le Mans start. A Le Mans start harkens back to the 1920s, when the race would require sprinting across the racetrack to get into your car or into your motorcycle. The purpose was to reduce congestion into turn 1 as it immediately spreads the field out. And this will be not only my first race start in a long time, it's definitely gonna be my first Le Mans start. So I'm really hoping I don't make a fool of myself. Here's for hoping. Are we good? Things were going great. Our team was competitive. I'm told we were in 2nd place right up until the very end. And then...
Did you know? I was going podium, baby. First race, only the finest Prosecco. This dope-ass trophy, baby. I love you. I'm bringing it home, baby.
Yeah, we didn't win, and I'll explain why in a minute. So, from an experienced old hat like me, I can tell you it is a well-handling, well-sorted little motorcycle that brakes and stops and turns the way a motorcycle should. Okay, so maybe you're not getting a Grom to race on go-kart tracks. What is it like to actually ride in the real world? All right, so right off the bat, the initial impression of riding this thing is that it feels like a motorcycle. The brakes are in the right place, the front brake and the rear brake. It shifts like a normal motorcycle. You get to choose which gear you're in. Now, a lot of times with entry-level bikes like this is they'll be wildly undersprung right out of the box. For even someone my size, the springs will just be way too soft and under damped, and so the bike will feel kind of pogo-y and not really as good as it could. But the Grom, much to its credit, it's properly sprung and properly damped, which makes the thing handle really well, especially for a $3,600, $3,700 motorcycle. It doesn't need a whole lot with the suspension. Out of the box, this isn't bad. And like, seriously, look at these roads. Alabama, like, way to deliver. These are fantastic little roads. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, it's not a big engine. How fast does it go? Well, let's just see. I'm gonna bend down a little bit to go a little faster. Not bad. I mean, especially on roads like this, you're not gonna be going a whole lot faster. I can't say I would take this thing on the freeway, but for these back roads and county roads and twisty little windy roads, canyons and whatnot, this thing is perfectly capable. But you just kind of can't help but giggle because you give it the beans. You twist the stick all the way to the stops. You're, full throttle coming out of every corner. You feel like Mission Impossible, kind of staying within the speed limit. Well, maybe not quite within the speed limit, but it's not way above the speed limit like you could be on a big bike. All right, so I do need to address the big complaint, and I think this is what cost us the podium, right? So in the endurance race, our team's plan was that we would honk the horn when we were tired and we wanted to come in and change riders. But look at this. Honda swapped the position of the horn in the turn signal. So when I was honking the horn to come in, I was actually canceling the turn signal. So when I did roll in, the rider coming after me was not prepared and we lost a lot of time there. So Honda, why? Why did you change these two buttons around? So Honda saw fit to kind of hold this event at the Barber Small Bore Festival, which was an event that kind of centers around these little bikes. One of the things that have always made the Grom so charming is how customizable they are. And with regards to the track bikes that we rode yesterday, how well they respond to upgrades. You really get a lot of money. You get a lot for your money when you upgrade these things. Around the Small Bore Festival, there's a bazillion different customized Groms. Each one is different. Each one reflects their owner. And, if you want to get into motorcycles, because there's that social element of motorcycles that have always been there, right? You're looking for community. You want a group of friends to ride with. What's that old Honda advertising slogan?
You meet the nicest people on a Honda.
You buy a Grom, you kind of get a built-in riding group. It comes with a group of riding friends, basically, because Grom owners seem to be really into their bikes. It's really fun. It's really low-key. And, yeah. Okay, so final thoughts. Yes, Honda invited me out to this. I had a great time. I still have no idea why Honda saw me as worthy to come out, but I enjoyed every minute of it. However, I have an obligation to you to give you an honest assessment of what this bike is like. And honestly, I really can't say much bad about the bike at all. The horn and turn signal thing's a little irritating, but that's not a deal breaker. So the more I think about the Grom and kind of what its purpose is, and I think about the first time you buy a motorcycle, there's that anxiety that, will I outgrow this bike? How long do I keep it before I have to replace it? Well, the Grom's not especially expensive, and they hold their value like crazy, so if you change your mind, you can sell, you don't lose your cash. But what I think happens most often is you buy the Grom, you fall in love with this sport, and the Grom is so useful and practical and usable in so many situations, you don't sell it. You just go buy a second motorcycle and you keep the Grom around. You let a buddy learn to ride on it. You use it to go do post office runs or to just go skirt around the neighborhood with your friends and, on a warm summer evening. There's so much there. You don't need to get rid of it, and it doesn't cost a lot, so you can just bang on to it. I think the other person who will really love a Grom is someone who does ride and they want a second bike to play on because they respond so well to upgrades. I'm not going to lie, I've been shopping the classifieds for a used Grom to turn it into a little play bike for me and Mrs. Canyon Chasers. However, the the used prices are so high, I might end up just going and buying a new one. Leave me some comments. If you have a Grom, your thoughts on the Grom. If you had old ones, what you like about them, what you don't like about them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it for you. Ride on and ride well.